Kobus, you there?
I'm with you.
Awesome, awesome. How are you today?
No, very well in you.
Good, good, thank you.
So
So
now,
just to let
now we can
everyone,
now we can put names and faces together.
yes, yes, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. So just to let everyone know, I'm a private chef with Chef and Guests, and obviously enjoyed a lot. But anyway, Kobus, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do there at the winery?
Yeah, it's I'm just a farmer boy, Gabriella. No, it's I've been born and bred in Rossel, a small town, 1 hour from Cape Town. So we have the better part of two
Wow.
worlds, 1 hour from town, but also far away. And
Yeah.
yeah, after I went to university, I started out as a winemaker here. And today I'm the managing director. So yeah, that's my
Wow.
responsibility and to enjoy wine.
Oh, of course. Just what a lovely part of your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell us a bit of the history of your winery, of
Yeah,
Deetlefs Wine?
on the 3rd of October 1752, the first Deetlefs, he came from the north of Germany. He was on his way to Batavia, Indonesia today. And no Google, no Instagram to do research on a trip. And
Yes.
near Saldanha, by 4 months later, they put him ashore. Apparently, he was a very difficult guy. You won't believe it looking at me today. And
Not at
but
all.
that's how we start. That's how we started there. So it's and then we've been established in 1822. So we're the second oldest wine estate now in South Africa under ownership of the same family.
Wow, that's amazing. So how many generations is that?
It's 7 generations, but we separate our family part and the business part. So yeah, kids don't have a job guaranteed here. Everybody must make it on their own in the outside world, and in all things equal, we bring them on board, and that's a
Awesome.
privilege.
Yes, no, of course. That's amazing. What makes your wines unique?
It's interesting question. We can talk about terroir, we can talk about style. I think consistency. I think consistency plays a major role in the success of our
Wow.
brand.
Yeah, that's very
So
important.
we have three different ranges basically, and it's not a quality thing. It's a stylistic approach. We have the Stonecross range and we have the Estate range. The one is freshness and fruit. The one is more mouthfeel and elegance, and then we have a classic range. So it's in three different price categories. But I think the contributing to our success is consistency.
Okay, well, wonderful. That's incredibly
Yeah,
important. If
yeah.
you have
What
a
we
glass
do,
of
what we do is also we taste it's a lifestyle industry. You're also in the lifestyle industry. It's unbelievable,
yes, yes.
and fantastic. But I think it can be dangerous. So we taste our own wines blind with the panel to ensure we keep on track. Otherwise, you think your kids are the most beautiful, and add to that consistency and style.
Okay, no, wonderful. What varietals are grown there? You've actually basically touched on it now, I suppose.
Yeah, we have quite a wide spread of varietals from Chenin, Pinotage, Semillon, Viognier, and then we have Cabernet, Merlot, Shiraz, Malbec. Malbec is doing very well also on the farm.
Is
So we
that the
have a
one that's
wide
most
spread of
popular?
varietals. Chenin and Pinotage are doing very well, but it also depends on the customer and also on different market segments. So again, it's difficult to pinpoint one popular wine. I think a lot of people enjoy the Stonecross on a daily basis, and then for the more special moments and more food wines, they will go over to the estate and the family range.
Okay, and in general, do you think the white wines do better or the red wines?
Both. Both are doing very well. Yeah,
Oh,
we're fortunate in that sense. We have like the South African industry. It's a Mediterranean climate.
yes.
And interestingly, we situated the heat units are 16% lower than in Stellenbosch. Study that was done by the geology department. And but that's not important. But what is important? How you know your farm and to optimize what is in your hands and what you can control.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. I'm quite in a rush to get to the wine tasting. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we move on to your delicious wines?
No, we can go over to the wines. It's yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going to be starting with the Pinotage, am I correct?
The Chenin Blanc. Can we start with the Chenin Blanc? Or we can break rules. We can start with the Pinotage also. Rules are there to be broken, so...
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's up to you, because I know, obviously, you know, you can taste according to the vintage, or, I mean, generally it is, obviously, you start with your whites and then move on to your reds. So what would you tell our subscribers?
I think you always start with what you're in the mood for. So it's, and this is going to be a very serious tasting.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm here to learn and to listen.
Are you ready for a serious tasting?
Yes, of course. Okay, so we're starting with the Chenin.
Let's start with the Chenin now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what the bottle looks like.
That's right.
Yeah, the one that Kobus and I will be tasting. And then he is obviously going to tell us more about it, which meals you should pair it with, and what notes you're looking for in the wine. So, yeah, and like I said, he's got a special surprise for all our subscribers at the end. So, yes, it might make it easy to taste the wines. So, Kobus, tell us about the wine, and yeah, let's go.
Gabriella, as I said, this is a serious tasting. So we're going to the influence of the terroir on the wines. It's the soil types. We have sandy soils, stony soils, loam soils, combinations thereof. We have the river as the one border of the farm. So the slopes against which vines are planted. Types of winds that blow here. Is it northwestern or the southeastern winds? The road direction. Depends, is it north, south, east, west? Depends how the sun goes over the vines. And then either Richback, Dark, Stoffel, he was a legend in the industry. Unfortunately passed away. But when you walk past that vine, did he lift his left leg or his right leg? But that is how ridiculous wine tasting has become. And I think sometimes it's the industry's its biggest enemy, putting wine on a pedestal and complicating it for people. Wine and food is there to be enjoyed.
Yes.
And so we're going to have a little bit of a different look at the wine. I can go into detail, into depth in the backstage thing, but I think let's first smell this wine. And it's interesting, Gabriella, if you smell wine, I always say, I tell people, put your nose in the glass, not in the wine, in the glass, and long, slow sniff. And then also on the edge of the glass. And if you smell on top, you get different flavors. I get more floral flavors when I smell on top of the glass. If I put my nose in, it's more peach-like yellow fruit flavors.
Yes.
And I think what's very important for our guests also is people must make their own associations. It's not what I tell them as a winemaker. It's I think it's very important to make own associations.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
So we can taste this wine together, and I want you to concentrate where you feel this wine in your mouth. You will feel it in the sides of your mouth, right through your mouth, and more peach-like yellow fruit flavors.
That's the wine. That's really, really nice. It's kind of, to me, I mean, obviously, like you said, we all make our different associations. But this kind of feels to me like a very easy drinking wine, like a lunch kind of wine. And especially now with our weather going so nice and warm.
You can use it, you can enjoy it on its own, and you can also with food. As a chef, what do you picture with this wine?
Definitely something like seafood, something more light, not dark meat or anything to that effect.
Seafood and then like brie cheese and chicken salad. And...
Yes. Yeah.
If you go to a restaurant, Gabriella, what do you order first, wine or food?
Wine. Definitely wine.
But isn't that wrong?
No, well, not to me. I will order wine, generally start with the white, and then if I am having, let's say, a lamb shank or whatever, then I do switch over to a red, unless I'm enjoying the white too much.
You're 100% right, because you're there to enjoy the evening or or lunch, whatever. So it's about the enjoyment. So you're 100% right to order the wine first. And I think if you look at wine and food, I think for our guests out there, people must experiment. If you if you have red meat, for example, and fish or chicken with the same sauce, the same wine is going to work with it. It's going to
Yes.
pair with it.
Yes.
And you can have a horizontal approach where it's basically a creamy dish or creamy sauce and a creamy wine that latches onto each other. Or you can get a vertical approach where you create a contrast. But again, that's back to personal preference. So if you imagine this wine, if you bite into lemon, use your imagination. Or you bite into a red apple.
Yes.
Or you take a sip of soya sauce, how it will interact with the wine. And that's why always what I tell people is experiment. Next time in a restaurant, a little bit of the sauce with the wine, a little bit with the of the dish with the wine, the salad dressing, and that brings wine to life. Wine and food is like relationships. Some work, some doesn't work. So you must try it out.
Try all the varieties. Okay, that's great. And you personally, what do you like pairing this wine with?
I like a brie cheese or chicken. You can also have a sauce with a slightly lemony flavors in it. It will bring out the lemon flavors. So yeah, but as I've said, I think it's very important, especially if you look at chef and guest also, is to get people to really experiment with flavors.
Yes.
I won't use a strong spicy food with this one, for example. It will kill the wine.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's interesting. If you look at wine also, the reason do you know what the seal stands for?
No, you know what, I suppose I should, but no, can you please tell myself and our subscribers?
No, it's a certification. So in the South African industry, and this is basically a guarantee what is on the label is in the bottle, and it's one of the strict certifications in the world. Now, to put a varietal on like Chardonnay or Chenin Blanc or Cabernet Sauvignon on the label, you need 85% of that cultivar in the bottle. But you can play with that 15%. So your type of grape, you need 85% if you want to put a single varietal, a single grape on here. So, but you can play with the 15% without even mentioning it. And that deer in Deetlefs is not for difficult, it's for different. So we call that 15% our salt and pepper. So in this Chenin, for example, there's a small percentage of veneer that was fermented on the skins, and 2% and 2% of veneer that was hyperoxidized. Just to add to the complexity, lift the floral components of the wine, and so we play a lot with that 15%.
Okay, now that's makes the wine even more interesting. Very interesting. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our subscribers more about the Chenin Blanc, or should we move on to?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Okay.
Any other questions from your side?
No, I think I've asked all the questions that I've wanted to. Sorry, just give me a second.
Do you have two glasses in front of you or only one?
I've got three. One with the Chenin.
Okay, if it doesn't matter, we can do them one by one. The two pinotages. We're going to taste two pinotages, and we can do them one by one either, or we can use two glasses and compare them.
Yes, I think that would be better. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So we're moving on to the 2017 vintage.
Yeah, but I think it's pour that one on your right hand side. This one, the estate pinotage.
I just want to show our subscribers. I'll keep editing you guys. Are we going to pour the other one now as well?
The other one we pour on the left-hand side.
Okay, perfect. So the other one we were tasting is the Stone Cross. It's the Pinotage 2020 vintage.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so tell us a bit about these wines.
The Pinotage is basically high density plantings. If you smell the one, if we start with the one on the right hand side, just smell them. We're not going to taste them now, just smell them. The one on the right hand side, the Estate Pinotage, 2017. I get rich plummy flavors.
See, I'm smelling more like leather, that kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. 100%. Type of earthiness.
Yes, exactly. It's quite rich. It smells very, very nice.
It is rich. Now let's smell the one on your left hand side, the Stonecross Pinotage.
So this one
Slightly more. Yeah.
It's lighter. It's not as strong or as full bodied as the previous one.
You're 100% right. It's a lighter style of wine. If we look at the and it's more, I get more freshness and I get more almost spicy flavors on the nose. It's subtle spicy flavors.
Yeah.
And the Stonecross, it's a lighter style wine. You can slightly chill it. And again, our guests must experiment with at what specific temperature they enjoy a wine. A richer white wine you will enjoy slightly. We can also enjoy slightly warmer, where a light style you will drink at a lower temperature.
Yes.
And so if we look at these two wines, the Stonecross got no wood on it, no barrels, and the Estate wine was aged in barrels. Do you know how a barrel works, Gabriella?
I did a wine course long ago, but as far as I understand, it is, what's the word? It stays in wine barrels for quite some time to absorb that woodiness. Am I right?
Yeah, it's like a tea bag. It's the first cup is strong and then weaker if you have first full, second full barrels. But the main thing about a barrel, it's micro oxidation. So slow oxidation through the grain of the wood. So yeah, that's very interesting. And so you have the micro oxidation, then they burn it on the inside with a flame. So if it's untoasted, it tends to give more green flavors, fresh flavors. If it's heavily toasted, it will give you more sweet flavors. And then you get different levels of toasting in between. Then you get different sizes of barrel. You get 225 liters, 300, 500, and bigger. And so there's lots of different permutations. So I think it's interesting to know how a barrel works. Yes. I can tell you we're X% of French Navarre oak in this one and Y% of this wood. I think it's more interesting to understand how a barrel works and the impact on the wine.
Yes. Is there a reason they use different sizes of barrels besides the fact that you might have a bigger quantity to do?
That's a very good question, because it's I think if it's in the Pinotage, for example, Pinotage it's a strong wine, but there's an elegance in it also, and so we use bigger barrels. So we use 500 liters for the Pinotage, and we don't use a lot of brand new oak. So we use a small percentage of new oak, and yeah, so that's basically on the Estate Pinotage. It's
okay.
And the other interesting thing is, back to the seal, on the Pinotage, it's 100% Pinotage. So it wasn't necessary to add any salt and pepper there. Okay. But let's taste and compare these two wines.
Okay. Tasting the next one.
You can taste it in any order. As I said, rules are there to be broken.
I like that. It makes complete sense. Complete sense, because everyone's palate is different. You can't expect one person to enjoy the same thing. And the other thing as well, I know, they always say obviously, like you said, this rule's meant to be broken. It depends on the exact vintage and so on, and how full-bodied and so on it is. But they say to drink red wine generally at room temperature. But as far as I understand, room temperature, that's more European room temperature.
That's right.
for us in South Africa, we might have to chill our red wine a little bit before drinking it.
Yeah. I enjoy, personally, I enjoy my red wines at 18, at 18 degrees. And, but I know some people prefer it slightly warmer, slightly cooler. But again, it's personal preferences. It's, we're all individuals. And I think it's important and to create that freedom for people to really experiment and enjoy it.
Yes, no, that's great. I mean, that's why you can make all the different varieties, because you've got so many different people enjoying different wines and their different occasions and all of that. Oh, no, that's wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about this wine? I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just making sure I am.
No. I think we've covered it basically. And what is, if you look at the slightly sweeter tones in the estate wines and the more heaviness, I would it goes very well with venison and even a chocolate chili sauce. Not over spicy, but a slight chili chocolate sauce. It's a great combination. But as I've said, I think it's important for people. These are guidelines. People must really just play with the flavors.
Yes. Okay, but I also just want to ask you, I saw on your website you offer 3 different ranges of wine. Can you maybe tell me a bit more about that and then the differences between them? Yeah,
before I do that, I just want to tell you something interesting. You've tasted the Pinotage now.
Yes.
You don't have it in front of you, but we also have a rosé.
Oh, nice.
In a Provence style, that's a dry rosé, and a Méthode Cap Classique. We're not allowed to call it champagne.
Is it this one?
Yeah, but you must never buy this wine.
What?
Never buy. It makes you irresponsibly romantic.
Okay, so there's a warning, a disclaimer for our subscribers.
but what is interesting, both the rosé, or all 3 wines, the rosé, the MCC, and the Pinotage are made from Pinotage grapes. So at Deetlefs is the only winery in the world with a white MCC made from Pinotage grapes.
Oh, wow. That's incredibly interesting. Wow. I'm very keen to taste this, but I'll taste it on my own time.
With a warning.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
No, back to you, if you ask about the ranges, no, it's basically, it's not, as I said, it's not a quality thing, it's stylistic. Stone Cross, all the Stone Cross wines are freshness and fruit. And the ranges between 79 Rand and 90 Rand a bottle. And then you have the estate range, which is more mouthfeel and elegance. If you think about that first Chenin and the second Pinotage.
Yes.
And that's in a price range from 130 to 295. And then we have a family and signature range that is 400 plus. So there's distinct different ranges, distinct different styles. As I've said earlier, I think contributing to the success is the consistency of, if people buy into the Stone Cross range, you know what they're going to get, and same thing with the estate and the family.
Okay. Now, it's nice to have those wines broken up nicely in 3 categories. And then obviously, like we said, different price ranges. But we really are spoiled in South Africa with the quality of wine we get and the prices. You go overseas and it's absolutely ridiculous. And definitely wines not as lovely as your wines, not even close.
No, we're fortunate in South Africa.
Yes. So tell me, let's say we've got subscribers that are wanting to keep the wines a little bit longer. Is there a certain time frame that they can keep the wines? And does it get better, smoother?
No, if we release it, it's like if we release it, the wine has developed up to a certain level, and then it's on a plateau. So it will slowly develop from there. So it's ready to drink if we release it. The Stone Cross, we say 3 to 5 years. The estate, 3 to 8 years, and the family range can 10 years plus. But it's all depends again on how you store the wines. Are they properly stored at a low temperature, below 18 degrees, and with the right type of humidity? So it's that all impacts on how long you can keep a wine.
Okay. No, I don't know who would keep the wines for that long, because I don't think
No. Me neither.
Just in all honesty, where would people be able to buy your wines?
our main focus is it's online, and we're in selective restaurants, but online. So they can order directly from our web shop. If they go to deetlefs.com, and we have a special gift for your
Yes,
guests.
our surprise for our subscribers.
Yeah, so if they order before the end of September, there's a 20% discount if they on the web shop if they use the voucher code chef and guests.
Okay.
Just one word, chef and guests, and it's free delivery anywhere in South Africa. We need to spoil people with choice. So, and they can mix and match. They can mix and match as long as it's a 6-bottle case. It can be 6 different bottles, but a minimum of 6 bottles in quantity of 6.
Okay, now, awesome. That is absolutely wonderful. I wanted to ask you something now, and I've completely forgotten. I just wanted to tell our subscribers that we will have all this information in the description at the bottom. And yeah, so this is very exciting. So Kobus, like Kobus said, 20% off on all wines on their website until the end of September. So definitely get onto that. These wines are already priced so well for what you get. Is absolutely amazing. And now to get 20% off as well and free delivery, it's I think Kobus is losing some money here. Thanks, Kobus.
And they're welcome to visit us on the farm also, Gabriella.
Where are you exactly situated?
Rawsonville. So it's,
how do you spell it? Because I know you said that in the beginning, but I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's if you drive on the N1 North, you go past Paul through the Twiscliff Tunnel. When you just come out of the mountains, there's a small village on your right-hand side.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, great. So everyone knows where to find you, your physical location, and your website. Thank you so much, Kobus, for taking this time to have a chat with us. And obviously, the tasting was absolutely phenomenal. This is definitely my favorite wine estate by far. It's absolutely divine. And it was very interesting hearing all the information. Thank you, Kobus, for your time.
Thank you, Gabriella. It was, I really enjoyed it, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Same to you.